And Seattle Mariners get ready for a doubleheader today from Petco Park in San Diego. Game one between the Mariners and Padres coming your way shortly. As we welcome you inside the broadcast booth, everybody, I'm Don Orsillo. We welcome you to Padres Baseball and welcome you back to baseball that is being played today due to social injustice. Last night's game was postponed here at Petco Park, and we'll walk you through what took place yesterday as out in the bullpen with their warm-ups, where the Seattle Mariners and the Padres were on the field warming up as well, getting ready for the game. Both managers talked it over as the teams came back to their clubhouses, and the Seattle Mariners voted soon after this not to play last night's game. So the Padres respected really the wishes of the Seattle Mariners vote process and also elected not to play. Here's what's going on around baseball yesterday and around Major League Sports in its entirety. NBA, 3 games yesterday and 3 today have been postponed. 3 games yesterday in Major League Baseball were postponed. The WNBA had 3 games yesterday postponed, as did the MLS with their 5 games. So that's what's going on. As of today, the Padres and Mariners are playing a doubleheader. Both managers weighed in on the situation earlier today.
Sports are a privilege, and we get the opportunity to play an awesome game. We get paid for it. These guys, you know, they're the best in the world, and they get to compete on this level every day. But it is a privilege. It's a privilege of a functioning society. And our players made a decision yesterday to take a step backwards and to back off the gas here, to create some awareness about something that we need change. We need change, and again, I commend our players for continuing doing the right thing. And you know, the discussions like we had yesterday as a team were very meaningful. We continue to learn from each other, educate each other. And that's what this is all about.
It's horrible what's going on. There's no doubt about it. And I think we can all agree, you know, both sides, that, you know, change needs to happen. I just know from our players, you know, like, I think the best way to represent it is, you know, we love our neighbors, we love our brothers, and that's kind of the stance that we've had.
Such an emotional day yesterday as we welcome in Mark Sweeney, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on everything that took place yesterday and today as well, Mark.
Yeah, it was emotional, and you know what? Change does need to happen in our society. What I saw yesterday was really the teammates and everyone sticking together, which that is really the important factor if you're a baseball player in society this day and age. But really, it comes down to equality, and change has to happen within our communities and also around the United States.
Well, we've got baseball for you today, not 1 but 2 games, and we'll be back with game number 1 after this. Fox Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Sequan Casino. Book your staycation today in the exciting new Padres Hotel Suite at Sequan Casino Resort. By BMW, see a San Diego County BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit sdcountybmw.com. By Chick-fil-A, if the Padres turn a double play, you want a free breakfast entree at Chick-fil-A tomorrow. Open your Chick-fil-A app before the game ends to claim the free reward. And by Baker Electric Home Energy, San Diego's experts in solar heating and air. It's the Padres and Seattle Mariners game 1 of 2 today, but before we get it started, let's send it down to Bob Scanlon.
Don, thank you so much. As the Padres get ready for game 1 of this doubleheader, they hope to be able to rely on this high-powered offense that has the second most runs in Major League Baseball, and over the last week has been led by their Gold Glove third baseman, Manny Machado. He's been on absolute fire, hitting .536, and he's come up with some big hits as well, including this game-winning home run against the Astros. But notice where that ball goes, opposite field, and against Gonzalez, the first game of this series. Extra bases opposite field. Now, if you try to come inside, he will keep you honest, pulling it through the left side, but Manny Machado has been using the entire field. If you leave something up and out over like this pitch, it's going to go for extra bases. That was a triple in his final at-bat on Tuesday night. He will try to keep this offense going and give some support to Dinelson Lamet, who's looking for another dozen Ks. The last time he faced Seattle up north, he struck out 12 batters. He'll try to dominate for 7 again today. Padres, Mariners. First pitch coming up next, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Most consistent starter this season has been Dinelson Lamet. And a swing and a miss. He strikes out the side. Strike 3 call. That was nasty. Good start for Lamet. Dinelson Lamet on the hill for the Padres, leads his team out onto the field. As we play day baseball from San Diego, game 1 of 2 today. And of course, this would be a 7-inning affair. Both games would be 7 innings, which would be very different. As we check out the weather report brought to you by your always sunny San Diego County Honda dealers. Nothing but blue skies above, not a cloud in the sky, and 79 degrees as we get it started. Northwesterly breeze at 13 miles per hour, and partly cloudy the forecast for the rest of the day. But again, no clouds as of right now. Time now for our Sequan Pick the Stick. Fans, you can decide who you're with by tweeting out #I'mWith. The last name of the broadcast you think has the best pick. If you're right, you've entered into a daily drawing for a 2-night stay in the new Padres Hotel Suite, including a $100 resort credit and 2 rounds of golf at Singing Hills Golf Resort at Sequan. Must be 21 and older to win. There are our picks for today's first game. And Scott Services, Seattle Mariners. look like this today in the starting nine for Game 1. J.P. Crawford leading it off at shortstop with Sam Haggerty. In left field, it is Kyle Lewis. He's having a great year. He's in center field, batting third. Kyle Seager, the brother of Corey Seager, is at third base with Austin Nola, the DH, Aaron Nola's brother. Evan White is at first base with Jake Fraley in right field. Shed Long at second base, and Joseph Odom does the catching, and he bats ninth. As the Padres featured Dinelson Lamet today in Game 1.
Let's take a look at the big right-hander, a 2-1 record with a minuscule 1.89 ERA coming into it. 45 strikeouts in only 33 1/3 innings. And arguably coming off his best start last year in last August against the Seattle Mariners, 12 strikeouts, only allowing 2 hits. But fastball success really comes into play. Look for that to be a prerequisite early in this start.
J.P. Crawford to lead it off here for the M's. In their alternate road jerseys for Game 1. Padres in the home whites with the pinstripes. And the first pitch of the ball game is going to miss for Game 1. J.P. Crawford, Sam Haggerty, and Kyle Lewis here in the first inning for the M's. 232 so far, home run, 9 runs batted in. Skip in for ball 2. Nelson getting start number 7 of the year. Second half of this regular season already. Game 32 of the year for the Padres, and a liner into right field. Starts things here in the first inning. A base hit for J.P. Crawford.
A 2-0 swing, and gets that fastball. Had to really go down that middle, and you could see Luis Torrens set up down the middle of the plate and lines this to right. Crawford's had a nice series so far.
Both offensively and defensively so far. Here is Sam Haggerty standing in as the Padres infield in the middle. A double play depth here. Haggerty, the Mariners left fielder. I'll check it first on Crawford, back to the bag.
It'll be interesting today, Don. We said in our first game that these Seattle Mariners, also the Padres, like to run the bases, and stolen bases is part of their offense. Mariners come in with 31 on the year, which leads all of the major leagues.
In the air to right field. Myers battling the sun out there, trying to shade his eyes, and he'll make the catch.
Time now to look at the Padres defense from left to right. Josh Naylor gets a start in left. Trent Grisham in center field. Will Myers, as he caught that one, in right field. The left side of the infield, Manny Machado, Tatis Jr., Cronenworth on the right side with Eric Hosmer. And Luis Torrens gets a start for Dinelson Lamet.
1 out, 1 on for the Mariners here in the top of the first inning. And here's Kyle Lewis. Great year he's having. OPS over 1,000, a 360 average. 7 homers, 19 runs batted in. He was 1 for 5 in the first game of this 3-game series. Drop in there for a strike on the inside corner at 97. Kyle Lewis, a rookie, leads American League rookies in runs, hits, home runs. So you got Jake Cronenworth leading in a lot of categories in the National League on the rookie side of things, and the guy at the plate right now for the Mariners, Kyle Lewis, leading on the American League side of things.
This young man has had a very good start to the season. A lot of his hits have been towards the center field, and you'll see that outfield probably bunch up. Also, he's done a very good job with the breaking ball.
It's in a stretch right now where he's hit safely in 9 straight games heading into today's game. And a grounder down to third. Machado will try to start it for 2. Second for 1, on to first, a double play. Nicely done around the horn. Inning ending. Padres are coming up. First inning on a beautiful day, spectacular day in San Diego. The Padres and Mariners playing the first of two. Let's check out the Padres starting nine here as they come to bat in the bottom of the first inning. Fernando Tatis Jr. will be batting second. Trent Grisham's on top of the order with Tatis. Then Manny Machado is at third base with Eric Hosmer at first. Jay Cronenworth at second base. Will Myers is in right. Greg Garcia, the DH, with Josh Naylor in left field for game one. And Luis Torrens does the catching and bats out of the 9 spot. L.J. Newsome is going to get the start here today for the Mariners. Kind of an opener, if you will, his first start of the year.
Yeah, 23-year-old right-hander. He was in single-A Modesto last year. 26th-round pick in 2015. He is a strike thrower, and he made his debut last Thursday against the Dodgers.
Grisham leading it off as he normally does now in his 32nd game. That means he's played in every Padres game so far. And ahead here 2-0. The Mariners, after the ball game today, will be heading to Anaheim to take on the Angels. It's part of this two-city tour for them. Take a look at the keys to the game brought to you by your San Diego County Honda dealers.
Well, cross up Crawford, J.P. Crawford, already a single in this game. He was 2 for 4 in the first game with 2 runs scored, including his first home run and cash-in opportunities. 11 base runners left on base in the first game for the Padres. Runners in scoring position, the key.
Popped up, foul ground. Odom coming back, and a little stagger, and he actually falls, but he holds on to the baseball. As Grisham fouls out to the Mariners catcher for out number 1.
Let's take a look at the Mariners defense. Left to right, Sam Haggerty gets a start left. Kyle Lewis in center field. Jake Fraley in right. Kyle Seager at third base. J.P. Crawford at shortstop. Shed Long Jr. gets the start at second base. Evan White at first. And Joseph Odom gets the start for L.J. Newsome.
One down, here's Fernando Tatis Jr. He'll take strike 1. 12 home runs, 29 RBIs, and the average at 301. Tatis played in every game so far this year for the Padres as well, and almost gets hit again. Spinning out of the way of that pitch running up and in at 92.
See, teams do that a lot, especially that fastball in, just to try to make him aware of it. Really difficult, especially that first pitch breaking ball. You want to hang in there.
It was a very rare hitless first game against the Mariners. He was 0 for 5 with a strikeout.
You know, what was interesting is he tried to lay a bunt down early in the game. It looked like it ricocheted off his fingers. You wonder if that was something that affected the rest of the game. Took a lot of wild swings in that first matchup against the Mariners.
Flares this one foul, backing out of play. Time for the key to give it everything. Highest OPS in the month of August, Fernando Tatis Jr. Third in that category, Jose Abreu of the White Sox, Charlie Blackmon of the Rockies. 1-2. And it's grounded foul over by the Mariners dugout. Of course, Mariners are housed on the third base side here at Petco Park. Is grounded foul again that way.
Hey, let's play 2, right, Don?
Absolutely.
I mean, you mentioned Cubs great. Ernie Banks always said, let's play 2. He wished he said 2 7-inning games.
Yes. You know, I did 10 years of minor league baseball, and I really enjoy the 7-inning game.
Me too.
It happens fast. Everything's quicker. I mean, obviously, you don't have 2 extra innings. Swing and a miss here, and Tatis strikes out. First strikeout of the day for Newsome, and that's out number 2 of this first inning.
L.J. Newsome's getting a little bit of run on that fastball. You can see just over the barrel of the bat. of Tatis Jr.
I mean, you're talking about your specialty pitchers, your normally 8th inning guy, and your closer. After the 5th inning, it's exciting.
Yeah,
It's,
you start turning it up a notch a little bit earlier.
you get an early lead, it's a much bigger deal.
For those Padre fans, you know you've been waiting for that no-hitter, too, for so long. Nothing in a 7-inning game.
Right. Doesn't count.
I actually like that, too, because that's a very precious thing to end up getting and throwing a no-hitter.
The 1 to Machado, and he'll hit a soft liner on a hop to the shortstop Crawford, who gets it across in time to end the inning. A 1-2-3 first for Newsom, scoreless after 1.
No score yet between the Padres and the Mariners. Dinelson Lamet giving up a leadoff single to lead off this ball game. A reason it is of note is because he had not allowed a first-inning hit in the last 4 games. He has been absolutely dominant in the early innings, but I bring it up because of one thing. With the postponement of yesterday's ball game, it is a 6-day rest time between starts for Dinelson Lamet, and generally that has not been to his benefit. A 5.14 earned run average when 6 days rest or more versus 3.13 on the normal 4 days, and it's really come down to walks, guys. 4.3 walks per 9. That's a walk more when he has the extra day of rest. Let's see how quickly he can find that fastball command. It was a little bit fuzzy in the first inning. He got through it. Hopefully he gets locked in and we see the normal dominant Dinelson Lamet. Don, Mark, back up to you.
All right, Scan, thanks very much as he deals with Kyle Seager to begin things here in the inning. And this one is fouled back at 98 miles an hour on the delivery. It is 0-2 quickly to Seager.
You know, Scan says something interesting. He hasn't given up a hit in the first inning in the last 4 starts. Also, he hasn't really induced a lot of double plays. And he got out of that first inning with that double play to Machado.
And he also did so in a minimal amount of pitches. He threw 7 first-inning pitches, which is great because you like to see Lamet get a little deeper into games than he has been.
Yeah, sometimes he's enamored by that strikeout at times. And what you do when you have that is there's a lot of foul balls. And that's uncomfortable. Drive that pitch count up.
Fly ball into the high sky and right. Meyer's going to deal with the sun, and he's there for the first out of the second inning. Well, Lamet known for his slider, but this year opponents against his fastball. Very good, only hitting at 161 against him after some pretty good success last year in his first year back off the Tommy John surgery.
I think it's safe to say, too, Don, and like to hear how you feel about this, but he's been more consistent this year. And I think it has a lot to do with him focused on driving that fastball, as Scan talked about. Because at times he falls off to that first base side, and that's when he struggles with command.
Yeah, no question. You can tell at times that mechanically he just comes out of whack a little bit.
That slider's not as sharp.
Yeah.
It has more of a backspin to it.
But he is able to repeat his delivery very good, and I guess the same can be said for virtually any pitcher. This will fall. It's a base hit. Over is Myers, a bobble barehanded, but no further advance for Nola. So a one-out single just blooped down that right field line and barely fair.
Well, Nola, 3 hits in that first game, and he dumps this down the right field line. It's going to be interesting day games, and especially with this early start. Right behind second base in that right field area really poses the problems with the sun field. Already seen Will Myers try to shade his eyes.
1 out, 1 on, and Evan White, the batter. First baseman. As again, the Padres go into that double play depth on a pitch that is up top for ball 1. Turn 2 again. They did so in the first inning. 168, 5 homers, 17 runs batted in for White. In a 3-hit game in game 1 of the series. Hitting better lately. Mentioned the 3 hits in the first game, but 4 days ago had a 6 RBI game. Mariners have now won 4 straight, taking the first game of this series. And of course, play 2 today. Padres will be headed out to Denver after the game to be in a weekend series against Colorado Rockies.
4-game series. Isn't that interesting?
Wraparound.
Yeah, and that's that could get taxing, which is interesting. Raises some eyebrows today, especially with the doubleheader. You're always focused on your starting pitching, but especially when you're going into Colorado. So today is going to be interesting how they script this. And one of the starters today, if not both, would be beneficial if they go deep in the ballgame.
Yeah, if your bullpen is taxed coming out of a doubleheader scenario going into a 4-game series at Coors Field, that could really put them in a tough spot. Tatis back a second, will make the catch for out number 2. Well, the Padres pitchers K9, your K9 wins if the Padres strike out 9 or more batters in today's game. All Padres fans can visit participating Petco locations the next day and receive a free pound of dog treats with Pals Rewards. Visit petco.com/PadresK9 for more details. Jake Fraley bats with 2 down, and Austin Nola at first base. Fraley, the Mariners right fielder. Just a 125 average coming in, but that's only in 2 games. This is 3rd game. He's recalled from the alternate site, which for the Mariners is Tacoma, their normal AAA venue. Not all that far away from downtown Seattle, so it works out pretty well.
Played there in AAA back in the day. They've renovated that stadium.
You a Rainier?
I was not a Rainier. I played against the Rainiers.
Okay.
I was in Vancouver, Canadian with the Angels.
It's a city I've never been to, but would love to go. I heard wonderful things about Vancouver.
Vancouver's beautiful. The field, you got to hit it twice to get it out. Nat Bailey Stadium.
Go out somewhere in center field and hit it again?
And I say that because I played against A-Rod. He comes up, and it was interesting for Tacoma. And he hits a line drive up to center field. And we were all in amazement because it just took off. And it was still going as he hit it. And he turned out to be a pretty good player.
Yeah. New Britain's Beehive Field.
And they hit twice.
Jeff Bagwell came through there, and they were a little concerned, the Red Sox were at the time, because he hit 4 home runs there. And they're like, wow, he's supposed to be a power hitter. Yeah, well, you know, it'll work out. But they're going to trade Larry Anderson for him because of the lack of power in New Britain. I mean, really?
Just a
Nobody hits home runs.
Hall of Fame career, right?
Yeah, it worked out all right. And Larry Anderson spent about 5 weeks, I think, with the Red Sox.
Yeah, I don't
want that trade.
I don't think that trade went.
Oh, it was, unfortunately, Lou Gorman, one of the greatest gentlemen you will ever meet, ever, was a GM. But I would say that was his worst trade, and I think he would tell you that, the great late Lou Gorman. Left field, moving over is Naylor, and he'll get there to make the catch. It ends the top of the second inning. Scoreless day baseball from San Diego. Doesn't get nicer than this. A perfect afternoon from Petco Park in San Diego. Scoreless as we head to inning number 2. And it's time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question. Who? Mark Grant pitched for the 1992 Mariners, striking out 42 batters, including Hall of Famers Robin Yount, Kirby Puckett, Ricky Henderson. Wow. We need to get back to this. I need to see this again. He struck out 42 batters, including Hall of Famers Ralph Fish, George Brett, Eddie Murray, Wade Boggs.
I'm going to say George Brett.
Okay. 92. Wade Boggs would have been a possibility.
That was when he had the sneaky cheese.
You told me he had a big arm.
He had a big arm.
And now he's just big.
What's your guess?
I'm going Wade Boggs. There's a pop-up left side. Crawford shielding his eyes makes the catch for out number 1 of the second inning. Mark Grant pitched for the 92 Mariners, struck out 42 batters. Hall of Famers Yount, Puckett, Henderson, and there's another. Yeah, I'm going to go Wade Boggs on that. Although all 4 of those guys are American League guys. I was going to say American League, but...
Yeah, I would have sided with the AL West. But you know what? Wade Boggs is a good answer because he would give you a strike. But he was very good with 2 strikes.
Fouled off a bunch of stuff at will.
Yeah.
Another Seattle Mariner was really good at that too, and Ichiro. Unbelievable. 2 strikes, he just couldn't strike him out. Like he just, it had to be very frustrating for pitchers.
It was almost like he was running to first base before he even hit it.
Yes. He was on the move. Didn't go, says Ted Barrett, crew chief, third base umpire today. Jay Cronenworth batting with one out here in the second inning. Mark Grant trivia questions, really?
I love it.
We're running out of stuff, I guess. 1-2 pitch, just get a miss.
Big fastball.
No, he's just big. 2-2 pitch. And that one's fouled off. In all seriousness, did he have another pitch?
Oh, yeah.
He featured. What else
He
did
had a good breaking ball. It was a little inconsistent, I would say. I never faced him. I faced him in batting practice before games. He would he would always come in, and Merv Retman would ask him, and the hitting coach would ask him to throw BP, lather up, and then he'd shower before the game.
That is strike three. Grabs the bottom of the strike zone, and that is strikeout number 2 for Newsom. 2 down.
It's interesting. We heard of L.J. Newsom as a strike thrower, and you can see him spotting at both sides of the plate. Perfect pitch on that outside part of the plate. Nothing that Jake Cronenworth could have done with that pitch.
So 2 down here in the second inning for Will Myers. Bats for the first time today. A .280 average. 7 homers, 18 runs batted in. Yeah, Mudd has wanted to throw me batting practice since I got here 5 years ago.
He'd drill you.
And that is exactly the reason why I won't do it. He's going to hit me in the ribs with the first pitch.
He's very accurate.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He's very strong too. I will point out. That's
He's
a strong man.
so you don't want to charge the mound because he's the nice guy. But don't get him mad.
Very strong.
He would drill you in the ribs, and it would probably come right in here and bam, right there, and you would have.
It would hurt really bad too.
It would be embedded in your side right there, and then you would have Rob Manfred's signature right on your rib cage.
Yeah. Opposite field liner, and it is picked at first base by Evan White to end things in the second. To the third we go without a score. Fox Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Petco, official pet coach of the Padres. By Jack in the Box, it's time to cheer on your Padres because we want burgers. And by Hyundai, bring on the epic summer savings now at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event. Mariners and Padres, game one of a doubleheader from beautiful San Diego, America's finest city. It's to the third we go. And Shedlong Jr. to lead it off. He'll take a strike at the knees from Dinelson Lamet. He's given up 2 hits through the first 2 innings. Shedlong Jr. with the 167 average. And so the Padres are headed on the road to Colorado after the ball game. So they need the road uniforms to be packed up and ready to go. So today the Padres in game 2 will wear the camo uniforms that they usually wear on Sundays.
Interesting.
Because they're available, obviously. Yep. So they're going to go with that in game 2 as to not use the other uniforms that they use, the alternates.
Yeah, that's typical. I mean, in other places where we did play the doubleheaders, typically you wouldn't wear that same uniform, even though they probably have a secondary one inside their locker room. I like those camo ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've done a fabulous job with the new unis.
They're great.
They look great. A lot of people talking very highly about them.
Swing and a miss for Long Jr.
What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
I actually like the home the best.
Yeah.
Out of all of them.
I think that one to me pops. I actually like the road pinstripes.
Yeah, I do too.
And I think it's a nice change.
Foul back to the screen. We'll do it again, 3-2.
I really like the ones on the pinstripe ones because it says San Diego across. I think that's really a real nice look. Obviously, Padres across the chest here at home with their home whites.
What I really like is the return of the emphasis on the swinging friar. I think it's pretty cool. I always thought it was a cool logo.
Yeah, Mark Grant's taking a nice swing.
Yes, he is. That is ball 4 on the first walk given up by Lamet. Now a quick word from Jerome's Furniture.
Jerome's Furniture, official furniture store of the San Diego Padres. Shop online today at jeromes.com.
Lead runner on for the second time in 3 innings for the M's. And Joseph Odom out of the 9 spot for Seattle. Steps to the plate for the first time.
Took a long look down to third base coach Manny Acta before he got into the batter's box.
Think something may be on here. There's a ground ball to short. Could be, a bobble there by Tatis. He was trying to do it too quickly, realizing that a double play was a possibility. And on the transfer from the glove to the bare hand, there's an error, and I believe that is the first miscue of the year for Tatis.
Interesting, because you see the bat shattering off the end of the bat. It might have disrupted the concentration of Fernando Tatis Jr. As you said, the first blemish all year long. I think he had more time. Looked like he was a little quick with that exchange.
Yeah, you have the catcher running on the back end too in Odom. So it is first and second with nobody out. And the error indeed charged to Tatis. Fly ball, foul, off to the left out of play.
Crawford's taking some aggressive swings. He's feeling it in the box.
Now, a lot of these Mariners have showed up for this series with not great overall offensive numbers, but lately they're starting to hit.
Yeah, and I said in that first game, they had a very good approach, center of the field, and that's how you get out of those tough stretches.